here in Illinois.
Yeah. So, Coach Ed, I'll let you start off. Like I said, I have a couple of unsigned seniors, and I'll have a couple of juniors popping in. If you want to just share your journey, what your career path is and what you look for as a coach, and those kind of things, just kind of let us into your world.
Right. All right, did I lose you there?
No, you there. You good.
Okay, I lost the visual there. Okay, that's fine. Well, first I'll start off by saying my name is Ed Gregory. Well, let's start all over. First of all, thank you for allowing me to be on your platform and to talk to your kids, Coach Springer. We met about a month ago, going back and forth about my players and recruits, and we haven't really made a match yet in terms of getting players. But I like the conversation. I like the direction that you're leading your kids in, and for you young men and women, part of the program, you guys got a great mentor and a great coach. Listen to her; she knows, and she's going to get you guys to where you need to be. About myself, now my name is Ed Gregory. I'm a volunteer men's basketball coach, assistant basketball coach at the College of Lake County, under the program of Tim Bowen, who's been coaching for over 30 years. I've been coaching off and on since I was about 18, 19 years old. So I've been around the game about 45 years or so. I started playing when I was about 5 or 6 years old. My first coach was a guy named John Busales back in 1975, 76. I still remember his name. Don't ask me how I still remember his name, but I still remember John Busales. Went on, I didn't play for a while. 8th grade, asked my mom, hey, Mom, can I play basketball? She was all about the grades, academic. Like, no. I said, Mom, I'm gonna take my grades, but I can't play. She said, would you really do that? I said, yep, I really do that, Mom. And so she said, all right, I'm gonna let you go out and play. So I went the last day of tryouts, made the team, became MVP that year. Team lost the championship game. Met a gentleman by the name of King Griswold from St. Benedict High School, who offered me a basketball scholarship. I took that basketball scholarship and I ran with it for 4 years. My high school, I was the captain of the team, the varsity, for 3 years. I played varsity basketball for 4 years. My team was ranked my senior year. We were ranked 22-5, number 2 in the state of Illinois, Class A. I also was a track and field runner. I taught myself how to hurdle, high hurdle, low hurdle. Was a 3-time All-Stater in track and field and hurling. Didn't get the success that I wanted. Our team got knocked out in the regionals in basketball, being ranked number 2. I didn't win a state title in track and field, but I had a coach by the name of Fred Muellman, and who was my track coach, who at the time I did not respect him. I didn't think he was that good of a coach. But I told him, I said, man, Coach, I didn't have the year I wanted to have. And he said, you know what? There will be more important things in life than how you succeed in track and field and in basketball. He said there'll be more important things. And boy, was he right. And I'll go into that. And I don't want to be too long about myself. Then there was a coach that recruited me out of 8th grade by the name of Osika. Coach Osika, coached at Providence St. Mel. At the time, Providence St. Mel had Lowell Hamilton, and they were ranked number 1 in the state. He went on to coach college at Illinois Tech, and he recruited me again as a high school senior and said, hey, you going to come? I said, hey, you got it. So I took a half scholarship to IIT, or Illinois Tech, played 3 years college basketball there. Did not finish my degree because I decided that chasing girls was more important than focusing on basketball. So got out there in life and just kind of was trying to feel where things were. And then I married a young lady who, by the name of Cynthia White. God rest her soul, she's deceased now, but saying they're raising 3 children. But she said to me, hey, you ever think about being the police? And my first phrase was, I'm not a snitch. I don't want to be the police. And so she said, okay, you don't? I said, okay. So then I went to church that Sunday, and I think my wife put it in the church bulletin for them to read it out. I promise you, I think she did. And so they told me that the starting salary was $40,000 at that time, and I was only making 20. So me being a math guy, 40,000 sounds better than 20,000. So I ended up becoming a police officer with the Evanston Police Department, which is in the town where Northwestern University is located. Was there for 23 and a half years. I just retired about a year and a half ago. I came here to College of Lake County as a police officer. The chief of police was a coworker of mine for the city of Evanston. He became the chief at the College of Lake County. He asked me, hey, do you want to come with me? I said, sure, I sure do. So I jumped on the police department at the College of Lake County, retired from Evanston. And then first thing I did, like I always do, I went to the gym. I saw a kid named Roddy shooting around, started giving him some pointers. Then I came back, watched some of the basketball games. I went up to the head coach and told him that I was interested in helping him coach his team. Last year, we were 2-22. And I could see the frustration on his face. And so I started coaching 17U AAU basketball last year. And I've coached along the ways, like I said, off and on since 1989. And we turned it around a little bit this season. We went 12-17 this year. And we were expecting some bigger things even next year. But and then let me go back a little bit. So my wife passed away. I had to stop coaching. I raised these 3 kids. My wife died when we were both 38 years old. I'm now 53. And I raised these kids, and it was not easy. The reason why I bring that up is to you young athletes. There will be struggles along the road, along the life. And know that even though you're going to struggle, like my track coach said to me, there will be bigger things in life. Little did I know, losing my wife was going to be that bigger thing, and having to raise these 3 kids, as a police officer and doing it that way. So for you young folks, for you young players, and I don't want to hog up the spotlight. I know there's another coach that's got to speak. But for you guys, you really, really, really focus on your academics. That's going to be your key to life, because most of us are not going to the NBA, the MLB, or anything else. But focus on getting your education, getting your associate's degree, getting your bachelor's degree. Have that focus. One of the things I noticed about coaching when I got to the college level that's different than the high school level is the recruiting part of it. And I've read all the basketball gurus, and they all said one thing: to become a successful college program, you have got to become a great recruiter. And so I spend almost every day looking at players, looking at high school players. I've talked to Coach Stringer a number of times and talking about different players. Recruit. And I spend every day doing it, a few hours a day. And I think Coach King will also add to that as well. If you're going to play basketball, get in that weight room. You've got to work out and get bigger, physical, and stronger. Coach said she had a few guys that are still learning how to dunk at 6'4". Got to do your squats, got to do your leg lunges, your bench press, your deadlift. If you're not hitting that weight room, you're not playing on the college level. The guys that we had last year, a lot of them learned that they sat on the end of the bench because they weren't strong enough. And the region that we're in the number 4 region for junior college basketball, and 4 of the top 25 in the nation are right out in our region right here. And the common denominator is all those guys are big, physical, and strong. So if you're going to play on this next level, you have got to dedicate, especially during the off season, at least 4 days a week to the weight room. Then when season's in, at least 2 days a week to the weight room. You got to devote that time to it. You got to be all in on this thing. If you want to play on the next level, you have got to be. You guys have way more distractions than I had coming up. You guys got video games, you got social media, you got girls, you got the whole guys, the whole bit. You have got to focus on your craft. Whether it's basketball, baseball, hockey, whatever it's going to be, you have got to dedicate your time to it. If you're not putting up at least 300-400 shots a day, working on your ball handling, and get in that weight room, you're wasting your time, because you're not going to play on the next level if you do not. And then if you get to a team and you happen to make the team, you're not going to see that floor. So if you want to get there, you gotta dedicate yourself to your craft and to your academics. These kids here at CLC, our team GPA is a 3.1. These kids, we've gotten them serious about their academics. We got them serious about getting in the weight room, because last year they weren't in the weight room until I came along and said, "Hey, coach, we got to get these boys in the weight room." And he said, "You're right." And so I led the charge and getting them into the weight room. This next year coming up, we'll also have a strength and conditioning class for the kids. But that, if nothing else, you got to hit them weights. And you got to get bigger and stronger, because it's razor thin for a Division II, Division III player and a junior college player. And if people think that junior college basketball is easy, this is some of the hardest stuff I've ever seen on the basketball court. And I played against some of the best players and coached against some of the best players in the country over the years. And this is just as competitive. And talking to some of the coaches, that they said that this may have been the most competitive junior college season that they've seen. And these guys have been around for 20 and 30 years. So if you think you're going to walk into a program and not be ready, you're sadly mistaken. Either you're not going to make the team or you're going to be embarrassed. So I'll hand it over to Coach King.
Yeah, Coach Gregory. Yeah.
That's for taking so long.
No worries. You did a great job. Thank you, Coach Stringer, for having me on. I really appreciate it. Definitely excited to talk to you guys. Yeah, I guess for my background, I wasn't a great basketball player. Was a pretty good high school player. Probably good enough to play low level Division III. But I went to a team that during my 4 years made it to a Final Four, and I wasn't on that level. But I was really fortunate. During my education, I was a PE major, so I went to school to be a gym teacher, and my minor was in coaching. And through that minor, I got hooked up coaching a high school team while I was started as a sophomore in college, and got to coach 4 years at a high school nearby, and that really built my experience, and I fell in love with it pretty quick. And from there, I went to school to be a PE teacher, but my love was basketball. So I decided, instead of going for a PE teacher job, I wanted to chase my dream. So I reached out to every college coach in 45, 50 miles, and sent them emails, and sent them my resume, sent them, what I'm about. And only one coach got back to me at Westfield State, Coach Sutter. And he was, I was lucky enough, he let me volunteer for their team. And I did that on top of working a full-time job as a PE teacher. But that was really my main goal, was that coaching stuff. So I put in a ton of work, got grinding on the recruiting trail, and earned Coach Sutter's trust. And from there, met a few connections and was able to get a job at my alma mater, Springfield College. And I've been working there the last 2 years, and I'm super fortunate that I get to do what I love every day. But I think that the main thing, obviously, we're talking here about you, enough about me, right? So the big thing is how can I get recruited? How can I be the best college basketball player I can be? And number one, when I'm recruiting, it's talent, right? You have to grind on your game. You have to be training. You have to be working on your inefficiencies. What do you need to improve on? And making the things that you're best at even better every single day. That's what you have to have that mindset. And, so I go to AAU tournaments, I go to high school games, fall league games, and that's what's gonna grab my eyes, is that talent. But from there, it's a lot more than just grabbing my eye. Number one, being good in school. What? How is your GPA? How are your SAT scores? Number two, the first question I talk to, every player's head coach. How's their work ethic? How are they in the classroom? How are they as a teammate? Because that stuff translates. And from where you are as a senior in high school, you better not be the same person when you're a senior in college. You have to transform your body. You have to transform your game. And that's why I'm looking for people with work ethic who are good teammates who, know what it takes. And that's incredibly important for sure. Like our starting point guard this year, when I recruited him, he was probably 165 pounds. He got to campus, he was 180 pounds. He had added 15 pounds of muscle. He went from, having a rim grazer dunk package to two-hand dunking easy. And the reason why is because every single day it's a grind for him. He's in the gym, he puts up the most shots on the team. And then we have team lifts 3 times a week. That's not enough for him. He's in the gym another 2 times every single week, 2-3 times. And that's really what, this year was his freshman year. He started every single game. And I know by senior year, he's going to be a whole different player because that's the type of grind that he's on. So I think that that's really the most important thing is be a good person, be a good teammate, get your grades right. And if you really say that you love this basketball stuff, act like you do and make it a 24/7 thing.
I got a question for you guys, coaches, Coach King and Coach Ed. I know we talk a lot about my players I have. I know I send you guys tons of kids. I have been for a while. With what I'm sending you guys, and we haven't met a match yet, which means it's a lot of talent coming your way from probably me and a lot of coaches. My question is, with this group of kids on here, going into 2024, what are their chances to get recruited along with what other else schools that you're recruiting players or transfer players? What are they going against?
I'll let Coach King go first on this one. First.
So there is, a bunch of very talented basketball players for sure. And all over the place. And I think that the big thing is for you guys, look into, what level you can fit in at. I think a lot of people like they reach out to coaches, they send emails, they send Twitter DMs to coaches, and that's awesome. I love that you're working hard to promote yourself, and coaches definitely look at it. Not every coach, but some coaches look at it. But you have to find the school that fits your game, and it's important to realize, in just I'm a Division III basketball coach. People don't really realize this. Between, conferences, NESCAC and NUMAC, which I coach in, really, really high talented players, 6'8", 6'9", front lines, athletic, long. And then, there's other D3 programs, still very good players. There are very good players all over the place in Division III. But, instead of 6'8", 6'9" big guys, it's 6'5", 6'6". Instead of guards that are 6'1", 6'2", it's, 5'9", 5'10". And if you can search that out, that can be really beneficial because you reach out to a coach and they say, oh, this guy looks like he's better than who we have.
Coach Ed, you want to lean in on that?
Give me that question one more time, Coach. I apologize.
You're fine. With all the kids that you're recruiting, talent-wise, going into class of 2024, what is this recruitment class going up against in your recruitment?
Okay, thank you for repeating that for me.
Fine.
From what I'm seeing, what I'm learning as I'm going along as well, is that like Coach said, there's a lot of talent out here. I think the talent pool is deeper than it has been over the years, and I have to credit. I believe the AAU circuit for that, because there are so many kids that are playing AAU basketball. When I played, you play for your school, and then you may have played for a little team around your neighborhood. But these kids are traveling all over the country playing now at 13, 14, 15 years old. So it's a lot. It's deeper talent. I don't think it's better, but I think it's definitely deeper. And so there's a range. So there's a huge range of kids. Also, when you talk about playing Division One, when you talk about playing Division One basketball, that portal has now opened up. It's been open for a few years, and that portal, these kids are transferring. We just saw the kid transferring from Stanford that wants to go to Duke now, and so these kids are jumping back in the portal, and it's hurting the freshman class or the incoming freshmen playing basketball, because now, well, why would I want to take, like a coach said, a 160-pound kid when I can take a kid who just transferred, who's already been in the college setting but wants another school, who's now 185 and has been through the grind already? Because college basketball is just that, it's a grind. And so I think that these young kids have got a huge mountain to climb to get looked at. I mean, even my coach, and because we're junior college, we don't really have access to the portal. But guess what we do have? We have access to social media, and kids are telling us all the time that they're looking for schools. They may even, there was a kid, all-state kid out of Illinois, that wants to come back, who's redshirted and now wants to come back and play in a junior college setting and then go back into the four-year setting. So the kids today are really facing an uphill battle of getting recruited. The kids who are putting themselves out there, though, one, working hard, two, putting themselves out there. I mean, that's how I found you, because one of your kids, that's how we found each other. One of your kids put himself out there, and then me and you got to talk, and so it's all about that networking. Also with these kids, you gotta network. And I know I'm not gonna say it's harder for the kids, because they do have social media and they do know how to network and they are putting their stuff out there. But the network game for these kids is, and having someone like yourself, Coach Stringer, and other coaches that who care about these kids, that's important. Because if you don't have that, if you're doing it the way I did it back in the day, ain't nobody gonna find you. So you gotta be exposed to, I almost call it mini agents, but some coaches are in it for the kids, like yourself. You got kids that come from different backgrounds, and I know that you care about these kids, and so, but for these kids, they just, you just got to network and keep grinding, and that's in life, period. Like I got the job here because the chief was from my department, said, "Hey, you want to come with me?" That was networking. I met you guys networking. Me and Chris today are on here, and when you guys went to silence, I said, "Hey, I may have some kids that you might be looking at that'll be junior college transfers." I just met the man 5 minutes ago. Networking. Every opportunity you have to network, and that's for the kids too. Network. So I mean, it's a full-time job being a student, being an athlete, and then networking. And that's your business.
I agree.
Also, let me add one more thing to this too. And I like to use other people's examples, like Deion Sanders. We know that he's arguably one of the greatest athletes of all time, playing baseball, football. And one of the things that he said was that it's not enough to just win. You have to dominate. You have to be a dog. So to all you young men and women that's out there, don't go to practice and just compete. Competing is good, but come there to be a dog. Come there to dominate. If I beat a dude by 10, I want to beat him next time by 20. You compete on everything. When you're doing your line drills, your 30-second suicides, I don't feel like I use the word suicide anymore, but doing your line drills, that's old school. Hey, be first. Don't be the guy who just kind of but I made it, coach. If you can do it in 26 seconds, do it in 26 and don't do it in 30 or 31 or 35 or whatever the number is. Every drill, work hard. Every drill, compete. Every time you lose, you should be upset that Tommy beat me today. No, that ain't gonna happen. You do iron sharper iron. So you and Tommy going out there in practice should be harder than when the games start. It really should be. Practice 2.5, 3 hours. Game is about an hour and a half. Put everything you got into it.
I respect that. So coaches, I know that especially young men think talent is the holy grail. That's what's going to get them to the next level. You said before, Coach Ed, that they have distractions with social media, girls, games, Xbox places, all that good stuff. How much does character mean to you guys as coaches? Like, prime example, them taking time to log in on a Zoom tonight. How much does that mean to you when you're recruiting? You based off your research off of character.
100% it matters. I can think of, just from where I grew up, probably 5 of the top 10 most talented players in my area never went on to play college basketball, and these guys were between the legs dunks, could shoot, attack the rim, awesome players. But there's so much more to college basketball than just being an awesome player. And those are like, I feel sad for them because it was talent wasted. But there's so much into, is he going to show up to class every day? Is he going to show up to practice every day with a good attitude, regardless of what's going on in his life? Is he going to, continue to strive to get better? And it's hard. That's one of the hardest things for me in recruiting, because every coach that I talk to is going to say, this player is the best kid ever. This kid is a hard worker. So I really have to try to, work hard to get to know the people who I'm recruiting and really know them, inside and out, so I can know exactly the type of character that I'm getting in a player.
I'll say this. Character is right up there with, probably it can be number 1, number 2 in terms of what I'm looking for. I have a player right now that was ranked the number 8 player in the nation, in the state of Wisconsin. Did not get a Division I scholarship. Ended up here with us, and didn't even get recruited by one of the top junior colleges. So he fell into our lap. And when I first came to the gym last year, and I'm just using this as an example so you can kind of see this, because you can talk about theory. So I walk in the gym and they say, this young man was the number 8 player out of Wisconsin. And I looked at him and I said, I couldn't tell. He did not separate himself from the other guys on our team. Now, when we played in the games, yeah, he's short. He had a game where he had 31 points, but then he had a game where he had 4 points. And I remember his mom coming out of the stands after the games and getting at the head coach. The head coach said, I want to talk to him. I said, I'll talk to a coach. And she's, my son, he was, when he was at AAU in high school and grammar school, even his high school coach or AAU coach said, man, he did all this when he was at AAU. I said, this is college basketball, sir, ma'am. I said, I'm going to be honest with you. And I said this in front of the young man. You do not work hard enough. You are a gamer. This is why you're not Division I. Because if you're the number 8 ranked player out of Wisconsin, and you know how good Wisconsin basketball is, especially the Milwaukee kids, you're talented. But he said, well, I'm only 5'9", 5'10". I said, so what? There's Division I guys that are 5'9", 5'10". Somewhere in there, the word probably got out was that you don't work hard enough. And I told this player that. And he's working a little harder. He's working a little harder now. But if he's going to play Division I, he's got to work. You've got to work. I'm getting a little bit of an echo and kickback. But yeah, you've got to work. So like to Coach's point, It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't matter what you did when you were in high school or grammar school. You've got to do it now, because as I said earlier, this field is too deep, and the next kid is ready to take your place. There's a kid that's practicing every day that wants to take your place. So you have to be great all the time. You have to work hard all the time. Your character is everything, as you won't see the floor. Because if you don't play, I'll get another kid to play. And I'll take a kid with less talent to play who's got a good work ethic.
Same here, coach. Same here. So I do have an unsigned senior in here by the name of Miguel. I know I sent his footage over. Miguel, did you have any questions? I know that you guys are looking for more players and Miguel's looking for a fit. Is there any question you have, Miguel?
Ma'am, right now I'm just like listening and gathering information for me.
Okay. But yeah, coaches, that's my unsigned senior. He's looking for a school. If you guys are.
Now, where's Miguel from?
I'm from Colombia in South America.
Okay, we've talked about him. Here's what I think you have to do. I haven't seen any footage of you, but you being a player from another country, probably F1 visa, you either have to be exceptionally good to be able to play Division I basketball, or two, or you have to have some money to back you up if you go on junior college. And I don't know, I'll let the D3 coach speak for the Division III stuff. So if you're D1 caliber, it's not an issue. But if you're a junior college prospect, the problem is that if I gave you a full ride, they would. It's kind of crazy how this breaks down, but like you would have to play the international rate to go to school. So I can give you $10,000. Now they're going to expect you to pay $22,000 or $12,000, make that gap money up. So unless you have a sponsor to help you with that gap money, it's going to be hard. Plus your housing, So I can give you the full scholarship, but then they end up doubling the number. It's a crazy system. So my advice, one of my pieces of advice to you would be, is that if you think you're Division I caliber, reach out to Division I schools. 2, apply for your green card. When you apply for your green card, then you may have some opportunities to get some money to go to school. But you gotta apply for it. You don't have to have it. You just have to apply for it. I've been doing a little homework on it, so that's where I'm at. I'll let Chris talk about the Division III spectrum of all that.
Yeah, for Division III basketball, we're in kind of the same boat where it's because there's no financial aid for international students. It's really tough to get international students into our school. But I will say this, Miguel, there are certain Division III schools that work really well with international students. For example, I've heard from certain people free housing for international students. We used to have that. We don't have it anymore, unfortunately. And then also, they'll do grants and scholarships and things like that to kind of make up for some of your financial aid packages. So I would look into that, do some research at what Division III schools are best for that, and which schools have the highest rate of international students, because those schools are probably helping with the financial aid piece. And there's also I forget the name of what it is. I think it's the CPI or something like that. I can text Coach Stringer after I look it up. But what that is it's a supplement for financial aid for international students, and certain schools use that. So if you fill that out, that could also help you get into college as well.
All right. And then I have 4 2024 guards in here. Do you guys have any questions? I know I always preach to y'all, but I want y'all to get everything y'all can get out of this conversation before your senior year starts.
I do have a question, sir. Sirs. If you had to pick one player that you are most proud of that you coached or played with, like I've been down here for like 20 minutes. I bet.
Sure, we can hear anything you're saying. You're going like 100 miles, and I love that you're working out, but we couldn't hear anything you just said.
I'm sorry. If you had to pick one player proud of for what he did. Can I still not hear me?
No, I got you, Trent. That's a good question. I think a big part of coaching for me is trying to stay in my players' lives after they graduate. And as a young coach, not many of my players have graduated, to be quite honest with you, but I've been really proud. Couple kids who I coached high school basketball with. I coached them in high school basketball, excuse me. They've gotten into coaching. One's coaching at Nichols College, and I see him out on the road recruiting all the time, and he's loving life and just loves what he does. And then another one is a student manager at Franklin Pierce University, and it was really cool for me, to share in that experience and to see how much they love the game, that they want to, chase it and for it to be their job for the rest of their life.
Well, for me, I've got about 4 or 5 kids popped up in my head. But I'll try to narrow down to one. A kid named Patrick Coleman, who, when I got him, he was a bit of a chubby, fat kid, but I made him my point guard. And his dad played at Illinois State, named J.C. Coleman. And J.C. asked me, he said, "Hey, man, you got my son playing point guard?" And my son was on that team. And my son was way more athletic than Patrick. I got a phone call from JC. We still friends to this day. I got a friend from him about 6, 7 years ago, and the first thing he said was, "Man, hey man, Patrick got his degree from South Suburban College." And I said, and I said to him, I said, "That's why I made him my point guard, because he was heady, he was smart. He's now the director of a park district. He was here in a city named Waukegan, Illinois, a director." And I walked in the gym on him, and I'm coming in to work out, and he said to me, "Hey, old man," I said, "I'll only take that from you." So very proud of him, his family, coming from a big family of 6 or 7 brothers and sisters. But this kid picked himself up when all the kids who were more athletic than him, but he's got his degree, and a lot of those kids didn't.
That's dope.
I do have one question. So, y'all both have been great with letting us know like how we can get better. So I just want to know like what can we do? I'm in 2024 as well to get y'all guys to recruit us, because we all know that the transfer portal is crazy and the class of 2024 is crazy and all of that. So what can we do to take the extra step to stand out so y'all can see us?
Well, I will say this, because I have not seen you guys' footages yet. Me and Coach Stringer, because we're going to build a relationship, and I'd like to get some of you St. Louis kids up this way, because I know y'all tough as nails. And so I like to look at some of you guys' game footages and just kind of follow you a little bit. And Coach, and I'm going to be honest with you, Coach Stringer is going to tell the truth. So she's my first vetter. She's going to vet you guys. This is why we're here. So she's not going to send you to me if she don't think that you can play on this level. And that's just the real truth. So we'll reach out and we'll look at some game tapes and game films, and we'll talk about the players that she has. Because I'm going to be emptying out this next year coming up. I'm going to be losing about 13 kids. So I'm going to have plenty of scholarship money. Not but the program.
Yeah, I would echo what Coach Gregory said. Number one, I haven't seen your footage yet, for sure, and Coach Stringer, I'd love to check it out. But I think the biggest thing really, it comes down to getting as good as you can at basketball, working as hard as you can to be at the top of your game, and then playing well in front of the right people. And that's why it's important to have a coach like Coach Stringer be at this AAU program who plays in front of college coaches and gets those college coaches' eyes. All it takes is one. So all it takes is one good game, and you'll get a coach's attention. And then it's just about getting better every day and showing them that one game isn't all you are. You're far more than that, and you're going to be a consistent player throughout the season. That'd be my biggest tip to you.
Any more questions?
I have a question. I'm a 2024 point guard. What do you guys look at for like point guards? Like, what do you guys look at them?
Coach Stringer go first on that one. I mean, Coach King.
Yeah. So our situation's a little different. We play. We're one of the fastest teams in the country. We were ranked 98th percentile in transition opportunities. So we really look for, number one, a point guard to guard people 94 feet. And number two, a person who can control the pace of the game, play super fast, look ahead to his teammates while staying under control. And I think that that vision to be able to start the break, not just with the dribble, but with look aheads, that's really key. And then that poise of, can my point guard be the leader on the court? Can I trust my point guard to, when we get to the half court, can they call out a set and they know why they're calling that set? It's not just good enough to just call a play because this is the only play I remember, I'm going to call it. You call a play because we're going to attack their defense through that play. And then shooting beyond anything else, work on your jumper, get as many shots up as you can. If you are shooting the ball at 40% clip, eyes will see you and people will recruit you to play basketball. Doesn't matter your size, doesn't matter your athleticism. If you can put it in the hoop, you can go.
I echo what Coach King said. You've got to be heady. You got to be able to take the pressure. I mean, you're going to be different defenses are going to be thrown at you, probably, but not they coming from bigger athletes. Can you take the contact? Can you take, when the point guard, when you're getting double teamed, can you get the ball out of your hands and not make a ton of turnovers? Is your basketball IQ, are you smart on the court and know what to do? You're my brain. My point guard is my brain. And so you need to know what I'm thinking, and I need to know what you're thinking. I love point guards that are physical. To be able to guard the three. Because if you can't guard the three, you're giving up threes. I mean, we can't trade baskets. I've got to shut you down. I mean, we were ranked number 10 in the nation in defense for a while in AIA. I think we ended up number 55 in the nation in defense because we slow everything down, we guard, and you've got to be able to guard. You got to be strong, be physical, and strong with the basketball, and just be heady and unflappable. Because college coaches, if you're not running the offense we need to run it, you will come sit next to me and you will get an earful. You've got to also be able to take criticism, because college coaches are rough, man. I mean, they roughed it. A lot of these guys, just their job on the line, you know, and depending on what level you playing on. You playing Division I, you playing under Mike Krzyzewski, that man makes $2 million a year. So you better know what you're doing when you playing for him. You know, not so much for myself, because we're a division, we're an NAIA program, but still, as much as somebody making $2 or $3 million coaching, I don't like to lose. You know, so you got to be able to take that constructive criticism, and college coach is gonna say some things to you that you're gonna be like, oh my God, why are he talking to me like that? But if you can shake it off and say, okay, all right, coach, I got you, you know, and then correct behavior and lead that team and be a team leader, man, you go with me.
Any more questions, brothers? No more questions?
Yeah, I got a question actually. Like, what do you guys like look the most in small forwards and power forwards?
Well, for me, in terms of my bigs, my bigs have got to be physical. You know, I need you to be 200 pounds, strong, physical, willing to rebound, bang. I mean, because everything happens in that hole, and I need tough guys in the hole that can you know. I don't even need you to block shots, but if you can be disruptive and be physical, that's what I'm looking for. That toughness. I'll take a guy who's averaging 8 or 10 points a game out of high school and a power forward spot who's, you know, got some good size on him, you know, that, but if you physical and you're not taking any prisoners, then we can roll. Because I'm a Chicago guy. I'm tough. I come from a tough-minded program. So I know you St. Louis kids down there. I know y'all some tough son of a guns too. So toughness is when looking for my power forwards and centers.
Yeah, I'd say for us, versatility is the big thing we look for. Can you do multiple things? Can you post people up? Can you take them out on the perimeter? Can you defend multiple positions? And then the second piece is definitely your body type. Are you in the gym? Are you strong enough to guard those bigger guys? Are you quick enough to guard those smaller guys? Is your nutrition where it needs to be? Are you eating right? Because those things separate at the college level. Everyone can play, everyone can go. There's just small things that separate people. So, you know, taking care of your body, being more physical, being able to, you know, impact the game with your physicality is super important.
If I can add one more thing to that, and just piggybacking on Coach about that nutrition piece of it. Yeah, you need to be eating right. I mean, if you can't get nothing but some peanut butter and jelly and some oatmeal, that stuff that stick to put a little size on you, man. Hey, get your vegetables, get your chicken breasts, and have a good diet. Along with that, making sure you guys get plenty of rest and sleep, because I mean, you guys are competing at a high octane level, and you need to be well rested. And getting that 8 hours of sleep is paramount. You know, when you get done with your homework and doing your chores, you need to be shutting it down. Hey, forget that. I mean, if it's important for you to be around the girls or playing video games, have at it. But it will show, because I know sometimes we practice 2.5, 3 hours of practice, and sometimes we go 6 days a week, and we go Sundays. And our coach will intentionally have practice at 8 a.m. to wake you up, to get your day going. So we don't really allow our athletes to sleep in. We get you up because we want you to get your. The thing with a lot of college athletes and where they fail is, and not even just college athletes, college students, period, is they party 1, 2 in the morning, then they got an 8 a.m. class and they don't get up till noon. So you got to make sure that you're getting your rest, and because it all works together. You'll die first from not sleeping than you will from not eating.
Fellas, you guys got any more questions? You guys good? Oh, they go trick like 5 different locations.
What was your guys' biggest lump in your coaching career? Like, where were you guys when you guys were wanted to say, I don't know about this, and then y'all kept going?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. For me, I would say one lump. I had a coach who I worked under as an assistant coach who I didn't think he treated the players the right way. And it was all about winning to him. And listen, I want to win. That's definitely the goal. But he wasn't about creating those relationships with players and being upfront and honest with them. And it was hard to be a part of that coaching staff, knowing that his values didn't reflect mine. And that made it very difficult for me. It made me think, is coaching right for me? Is this how every coach is? But I've been really blessed for, most of my coaching career to have worked with great people who really put the person first in coaching. And the reason why I stuck to it is because I love this freaking game, and I love all the relationships that I've formed from basketball, from growing up playing AAU ball to, coaching as many players as I have. It's just some of my best people, greatest mentors, greatest friends are from basketball, and I couldn't throw that away.
I have to honestly say I've never wavered on coaching. Let me just say this. I've been in law enforcement for 25 years, and I've seen the worst and the worst of people in my field. I've seen almost everything. But through this basketball and coaching sports, I always get a joy in watching young men and women develop, not only athletically, but character-wise, because I spend a lot of time dealing with the young folks' character. And at the end of the day, most of us are not going to the NBA. Let's just be honest. But if we can give you the work ethic and the character and help you develop that along with your family, and then get you out there to be successful in your life and in your career, then that means everything to me. I've not taken a dime coaching. I've always volunteered my time. I've always, even as a program director, I didn't take any money coaching. As a matter of fact, I come out my pocket because I want young people to experience what I experienced. I mean, I got the chance to play, like I said, for the number 2 team, high school team in the state. I got to play college basketball. I got to play against number 1 player in the nation, and Bill Wilson at the time back in '84. And so, I mean, I've got to play against pros, Kendall Gills, and the world. So all those opportunities to play and to coach never wavered. And if I go to my grave, and the kids that I've coached, you guys have been successful. You guys have moved on in life, and I mean, some kids are going to drop out. Like Coach said, he's lost some players. And it's hard. It's a grind. But even if you drop out of college, which I did too, but I'm also a 26-year veteran police officer. So have your eye on the prize of basketball, but also have that next thing that you want to do in life. Being at this college, I've had opportunity now to spend time with different professors and they're looking for kids to do well. Like I know a lot of kids want to be doctors and lawyers and engineers, but they're also looking for welders and electricians. And we as a junior college, we have those programs, HVAC guys. So there's an opportunity to have a good livelihood and to be able to take care of yourself. And that's what I want to see from all of you young men and women is that, hey, we gave you something, we gave you a tool, which is basketball, in order to advance yourself in life. And that's what it's all about for me.
I love it.
Thank you. And I know I might be killing y'all's time, but I really would like to hear from Coach Stringer if I could.
Mm-hmm.
So, talk to me, Trick.
Oh, the same question I just asked Coach King and I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Coach Gregory.
Coach Gregory.
Oh, I have a couple of them. My first one was probably coaching, my last year coaching high school. I was coaching a group of young women, and I did not enjoy it. Not because of the situation. I didn't enjoy it because the lack of heart. It's kind of like the stuff I tell you guys. Like, outside of coaching, we have lives. And if we're putting in 100% and if I'm getting 50% or 25%, it defeats the purpose. If I'm giving my all and trying to put you in positions to win and get better, and it's not being observed, I'm wasting my time and I'm being a disservice. So I would say my last year coaching high school basketball, which was about 3 years ago, I was kind of done. I stopped coaching for a while. I took a break from high school recruiting because I feel like the hunger wasn't there. I feel like nobody in the area was really passionate about getting better. I feel like everybody was trying to do it, just have something to do. But then I started to develop Action on Mercy, and I was going so hard with development and producing these players and getting them offers. I'm like, okay, now I'm not watching good basketball. I want to be in the arena to coach good basketball. So I went back because I'm never going to give up on kids. But sometimes you got to balance your mindset and take a step back and refocus. So like I told you guys last night, when a coach is not enjoying what they're doing, it has nothing to do with their passion. It's about what's being on the surface. If we have a group of kids that say they want it and it doesn't show, no coach is going to enjoy that. No coach wants to waste your time as well as waste their time, especially when they can do other things or as other kids don't want the position. So it's been times I've been frustrated. I really take basketball to heart sometimes. I get frustrated and I want to just say I'm done, but I'm never going to leave any kids that I poured into stranded. Like I said, I'll step back and think, how can I make the situation better, as I'm doing with our AAU team now. I'm not giving up on you guys, but I want you guys to understand that outside of you, I go for all the underdogs. There's 15 other young men who probably won't be as talented as you guys, but will come to the gym on time, will put 110 in, and maybe they'll lose games, but I know that they will give me their all. So I just tell everybody, if I'm coaching you, give me your all, because it's not about money. It's not about the bill. It's all about what I got from my heart. And if you guys want it, I'm here to give it to you. If not, I will go elsewhere where I want it, because I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time. So I hope that answers your question. And I admire, like I told you, you are a great player. Like I just saw you working out and moving from one gym to another gym while asking questions. You're very involved. I think that coaches can see that you're very in tune with trying to get better as a person and make it to the next level. So I appreciate all you young men being on here. Like I said, I got a team of 15 boys, and I had 6 tonight. And these young men come every week. So coaches, if this speaks value to you, like I told you guys, I have all the potential on my team as far as grades. Individual game is great, but we got to work on being better as teammates and working together as a team. So I want you guys to really see these young men faces, and I would definitely send you their contact, game tape, and all that good stuff. But when we have practice next time, I'm definitely have to be a little more harder on them because they think it's a game. So
yeah.
I welcome it. I welcome it.
All right. Okay. Let's see what you got. Let's see what
Sir.
you got. Go ahead, Coach Stringer. I'm sorry.
I was gonna tell the boys if they didn't have any more questions, I was gonna let you guys close out with the last impression, or whatever you want to leave them with.
I do have one question. Like, what is the name of the UKU coach, Coach Greg?
You said the name of the college?
Yeah.
College of Lake County. It's in Grays Lake, Illinois.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Miguel's my guy though. Miguel literally travels 3 hours to make AAU tournaments, practice, and he gets there and he's like, I want to hoop. Like, I'm not coming here. The same speech I give the boys, Miguel pulled us aside in Kentucky, was like, look, I'm giving my all. Like, I'm traveling to be here with y'all, and y'all ain't on my wave right now. I'm sick of it. So Miguel is one of the, that's why I'm really passionate about helping Miguel, because he's just giving me all he can, you know, in the little time I've known him. So he's really, besides the green card situation, he would be a great fit anywhere he goes. That's my guy.
Man, that boy a dog.
Oh well, I believe. I believe you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I definitely believe what you're saying. International players, man, especially you come from our neighborhoods where it's a little rough here, and it's rough in certain areas. But you go travel internationally, and you'll be thinking you live in a country club, because international is woo. You know, depending on where you're at. And I've been around the world, and they have a dog in them that's might be maybe worse than our dogs here, because it's
I can tell you that.
Am I right, Miguel?
Yeah, you're right. Where I come from, like, it's very, very tough. And like, I see like the people around here, like, and I wish I had like the life they got here.
Yep. So we got to figure out this international piece of it all, man. And, you know, because there's some foreign players, man, that they're good. And I've had 3 in my hands, and I can't make it happen. And I'm trying to figure out how. So we'll go from there and try to figure out something. Also, Coach King talked about, I put it in my notes. What was it? The CPI? Coach King?
Yep.
Yeah, I want to look into that a little bit more as well, you know, because I think we're doing a disservice if we don't try to turn over every rock to find opportunity for some of our foreign kids, because they do play hard and they get after it.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure. Well, our meeting time is going to expire pretty soon, so I don't want it to cut off on us. I do want to thank the coaches for stepping in and talking to you guys, and I appreciate you guys taking your time to spend an hour and take some knowledge in. As I told y'all before, take all the resources that's given. This is free game. You know, you don't have to pay for this. You know, to get the answers, get the advice needed to prepare you for your senior year. Take advantage of it, man. So I thank you guys for logging on, and I thank coaches for taking time of that busy schedule to talk to you guys.
And I know Coach Stringer just thanked you guys for everybody, but I would like to personally thank y'all for this opportunity. It was a little rough getting into the Zoom meeting, but I made it. I got what I needed to get. You got what I needed to get done everywhere I need to get it done. So thank y'all for dealing with
thank y'all.
I guess.
And thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, coaches.
All right,
No,
Miguel.
thank you guys for listening. You guys are the only 4 people who listen to me talk for an hour. So.
I would definitely share the information with you guys. I'll probably get a cameraman for next tournament and try to get some more footage for them so they can start just gathering their stuff, and I'll send it to you guys, whatever I get, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. Coach,
Yes, sir.
can you get me Coach King's information as well?
Yep, I'll send both of you guys each other's information as soon as I hang up with this phone call. And
okay.
And I want you guys, players, if you got players to help.
Right, and I want to see about your 2024 class too. So
okay, that works. We'll definitely get on that.
Okay. All right. Great. Good stuff. Thank you.
Right. No problem.
Let's go. When it's time for action, we show no mercy.
Hey, you know it.
None.
Right.
None.
See you later.
All right, guys. Take care.